Hey guys, so I know I didn't do any pregnancy vlogs throughout my pregnancy or whatever. I was way too tired to even think about YouTube or recording a video while I was pregnant. I was also in school and working a full-time job at the same time, so that was completely impossible for me. But I did enjoy watching other people's pregnancy vlogs. It kind of gave me an insight, what to look forward to week by week during my pregnancy, and it was really interesting. I wanted to do it, but by the time I had enough energy to do that, my pregnancy was probably almost over. I'm basically going to give you guys kind of a summary of what my pregnancy was like. Everyone's pregnancy is different, so don't think that just because this happened to me while I was pregnant, it's going to be the same for you. It depends on your lifestyle, just, you being different as a person. No two pregnancies are probably going to be exactly the same. When I found out that I was pregnant, I was already 8 weeks, I think. Yeah, because I had my first period, then I missed the second one, and I think that's how it goes. So, and something was kind of funny. The period that I had before the missed one was kind of weird. It was like, it lasted for a couple days, I think. Well, mine is short anyway. It usually lasts for like 3 or 4 days, but this one was just irregular. You can tell when something's different down there. So, I still had no idea, to me it was just like, I knew there was a possibility, obviously. I'll say after about 5 weeks, I started feeling just different, really tired, drained, and I mean tired to the point where I'm sleeping throughout the whole day, I'm out of breath, and you know what, there's one distinct moment I remember. I'm a person who likes to sing in the car, like full blast, loud, and I remember I was singing and I was like, my breath was really short and I could barely breathe. I was like breathing hard. I can't really explain how it feels. It is really uncomfortable. So I could barely sing in the car anymore because it takes a lot of air, and it's just, your breathing is really limited, I guess you could put it that way when you're pregnant. So I remember feeling weird that way. I was extremely tired at work. I used to love my job. I do merchandising at Forever 21, and it's just a really creative job. I love it, and I actually started to hate it because, my body and my mind was changing so much, the different hormones. I was really tired, so I just dreaded coming to work because it was the same work, but it was just, I don't know, my whole mindset was different. So I was changing in that aspect. I don't think that I was eating a lot more that early on, but I actually did lose weight before I gained weight during pregnancy. So during that first month, like the first 4 weeks, I was actually losing weight. I looked skinnier, so I would never thought that I was pregnant. And I don't know if that has something to do with your body, with the baby taking everything out of your body in order to be produced. But, oh, and another thing, I could never burp. I always had severe gas, and not farting or anything, but I could never, I'd literally have to burp myself like a baby. I wouldn't call that heartburn because I experienced heartburn later on in my pregnancy, but yeah, I would just get really gassy and constipation. So I feel like my pregnancy had its positives and negatives. Throughout my whole pregnancy, I did not throw up. I was not extremely sick or anything, but I was extremely tired, extremely constipated, extremely gassy, and the shortness of breath. I just felt really tired all the time. I would prefer that over being nauseated all the time. That I'm afraid to puke. No one likes to puke, I don't think. I just don't like the feeling of having no control over my body, and that's how I feel when I'm puking. So that lasted up until the 14th week, and I would always Google, week by week to see what I'm supposed to be experiencing, and it's not exact for everyone, but it is pretty accurate. It was for me, at least. Yeah, and they said about in the second trimester, which is 12 weeks, you'd probably start to get a little bit more energy and feel like yourself a little bit more. And that didn't happen to me until 14 weeks. It wasn't something that I just noticed overnight, oh my gosh, I have more energy. It's kind of just something that gradually happened, and now when I look back at it, I realize that I did have more energy, and nothing could compare to how tired you feel, during, I'll say, after the 4th week, that's when you really start to feel tired. I think that's probably the best part of pregnancy, like the 14 weeks to, I'm going to say, 20 weeks. The only thing that I experienced between 14 and 20 weeks is, you know, different foods that I liked. I actually started drinking milk and like dairy products, which I never, ever, ever enjoyed, ever. But being pregnant made me, you know, able to drink milk without, you know, feeling sick afterwards. Ice cream, things that I didn't enjoy before, and really fattening things at that. So, I mean, I am happy that I'm able to eat ice cream now, but, you know, I wish I kind of didn't like it still, because I still eat ice cream today, even though I'm not pregnant anymore, and I'm trying to lose weight, and that makes it 10 times harder than it already is. But yeah, so just the different foods that I liked changed. I didn't, for a little while, I didn't like greasy foods. I used to really enjoy pizza before I was pregnant, and just like anything really greasy, I didn't like. I think I ate a lot of pasta when I was pregnant in between 14 and 20 weeks. I found out that I was having a boy at 18 weeks. It was kind of funny how it happened, because John and I were like 100% sure that we were having a girl. Like, when you're pregnant, you always have visions of, you know, how it would be once you have your baby, and just like little daydreaming things, and I would always see a girl. I had 3 dreams about a boy though, so maybe that was some kind of sign that I was indeed having a boy. But during the ultrasound, I was really nervous. I really, you know, there was so much anticipation there. And she was just, the whole process was like an hour. She was just making sure the baby was healthy, you know, he was growing right. And she was labeling each part of his body. And then there was one point where she typed FEM. And I was like 100% sure that that meant female. Come to find out, it meant femur, I think. And at the end of it all, so yeah, throughout this whole, after I saw the FEM, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I'm having a little girl, I'm so happy. And yeah, at the end of it, she's like, oh, so I can tell you that you're having a boy. So happy to be having a little boy. It just kind of changed everything, not in a good or a bad way. It just kind of, you know, it just makes everything real once you find out the sex of the baby. I was so happy when I found out. I know with me and my older brother, my mom actually didn't know the sex, and I think that will be a little bit fun too, to kind of see what you're having after the baby's born. You know, it'll be a big surprise. And the months after that zoomed by so fast, and I'll say between 20 and the end of my pregnancy, 20 weeks and the end of my pregnancy, I experienced a lot more symptoms. This is where I had the most discomfort, and I don't know, I can't really compare the beginning of the pregnancy and the end of the pregnancy, because they're just as bad. Well, it was just as bad for me. So at the end of the pregnancy, my feet hurt really bad. I could barely, like, I'm on my feet 24/7 at work, 8 hours a day. I could barely do it. I was always, you know, waiting for my 10-minute break because my feet were killing me. I was angry. I don't know if anyone could necessarily tell, but on the inside I was furious because I had to be there. It was a little bit harder for me to wake up, because not just because I was tired, but just not tired mentally, but physically I was tired. It was really draining for my body. What else? Oh, the weight gain just kind of, for me and other women, it did something to me. Obviously you're going to gain weight when you're pregnant, but it just kind of made me sad in a way. I can't really explain it. I just felt like I didn't have anything to wear, and, you know, dressing up and picking out my outfit was always really fun for me to do. Well, when I was pregnant, I just had my maternity clothes. Oh, and by the way, I didn't get maternity clothes until kind of the end of my pregnancy, because that's when I got noticeably bigger. I forgot to tell you guys, at 16 weeks is when I actually felt my baby move for the first time, which is kind of early, I guess, but my doctor said it's because, you know, I was so small that I could feel the baby more. And I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I actually felt him move. I was laying in bed and I felt like a little tapping, and I remember it was 3 times. It was just 1, 2, 3, and it felt like a little finger poking me, but it was probably just his little leg or something. That was, I don't know, I was just laying in bed in shock, kind of like, wow, there really is something inside of me. And then the ultrasound just added on to that feeling of, you know, there's actually a baby inside of me. There's a living human inside of me, and I am responsible for it. So you kind of have all these mixed emotions when you're pregnant. You know, you're happy, you're sad because you're bringing your baby into this, like, not evil world, but you know, your baby's so safe inside of you, but when he's born, he's vulnerable to all types of things here on earth that we experience every day. So it's just, you know, a lot of mixed emotions. Yeah, so that's my pregnancy in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're pregnant, I hope it kind of, I mean, maybe you can relate to the way that I feel depending on what stage you are in your pregnancy. Yeah, stay tuned for my labor and delivery story. Kind of got a really big shock, and I really want to share that with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.